powering options for the Sony A7S III and A7 IV go well beyond the original battery that comes with your camera. It's also important to take a look at your settings and optimize them for the best battery life you can get. The Sony NPFZ 100 is the better battery than the old Sony batteries, but certain features can really drain these quicker than others. To get the best battery life out of your Sony cameras, I found that turning down the LCD screen brightness and putting the camera in airplane mode will greatly increase your battery life. Airplane mode turns off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and control with smartphone. Not using these features will get you much better battery life. To turn on airplane mode on the A7S III or the A7 IV, go to Network, Network Option, and Airplane Mode. This is much easier than going through each menu option for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and control with smartphone. The stock NPFZ 100 battery pack can film for about an hour to 90 minutes of continuous recording depending on your frame rate. If you're not recording the whole time, you can extend that 4K 24 frames per second from 90 minutes to about 100, 120, while 4K will be 60 or 120 will be closer to an hour. It's good battery life, but not as great as it possibly can be. The next kind of powering option is a pretty common one, and that is to use a USB power bank here. There are some catches here though. You will need a 9-volt, 3-amp power delivery to charge the battery of your camera. You can use lesser power banks, but there is some battery drain on the camera, so if you're using it with a lesser power bank, you will extend the battery life by a little bit, but you will still eventually exhaust the battery of the camera. I have a 9-volt, 3-amp USB-C power bank that I purchased specifically for charging my cameras and charging my laptops. I have been using this and it's been working great for longer shoots, or if I'm just out on the road, I can plug my MacBook Air into this and it will actually charge my laptop. This is the 65 watt, 30,000 milliamp version, and I've been using it so far and it's worked out pretty good. It takes a long time to charge, but it's worked out pretty well for powering my cameras and even my MacBook Air. If you're looking for a more serious portable power though, you want a V-mount battery. To use this, you'll have to build a bit of a rig with a V-mount battery plate and rails, and it does add quite a bit of heft to your overall camera rig. The size and weight does come with a price tag as well. The cost of V-mount batteries is much more than USB-C high power output delivery devices, and even more than buying multiple NPFZ Sony batteries. So why would you bother with V-mount batteries in the first place? Well, the nice thing about these is that you can power multiple things from a single battery, and if one battery runs out of power, you can simply swap it out and all of your devices are up and powered immediately. You don't have to worry about carrying around tons of NPF batteries for your monitor, NPFZ batteries for your camera, and then AA's for your audio recorder. As long as you can connect all of your devices to the V-mount battery or the battery plate, and you can swap out new batteries, you'll have enough power to power all of your devices without needing a bunch of different batteries to choose from. The two different brands of V-mount batteries I have are these cheap Powerextra batteries or the more expensive FX Nano 2. The cheaper batteries are great if you have V-mount plates that you can have all the inputs you need. The battery itself has a D-tap and a USB port, and most other plates have another D-tap, so you could run your camera with a dummy battery to D-tap, your monitor to a D-tap, and your audio recorder to the USB port. I've done this before and it's worked out great. However, I'm going to be moving around and there's a chance of accidentally snagging a power cable from my camera. I will use this second battery, which is much more expensive than these ones, and there's a good reason why. The Nano 2 has a 9-volt, 3-amp USB-C power delivery port on top that can power the A7 IV or the A7S III as long as this battery has power. The benefit here is that you can leave a battery in your camera too, so if the power from this battery gets interrupted, your camera keeps recording no problems since you have the original battery in your camera. If you're using a dummy battery or a D-tap battery, if the power gets interrupted from your camera to the battery, the file will probably corrupt if you're recording. This is a huge benefit for this battery. It's more expensive, but if I will be moving around, I will always take this battery around with me. When it comes to battery life, I do love using V-mount batteries, and I originally purchased the FX Nano 1 because I wanted a lightweight kit, but ended up returning it because it was only 50 watt hours, and it only powered the A7S III for 2 hours of use. That's better than the regular battery, but this Nano 1 was about half the size of this, and it really didn't give me any benefit because I had to add the rails and the battery plate. And when I introduced a monitor in the mix, it was even less than that. So I was better off using the NPFZ and NPF batteries with my camera and monitor. I returned the Nano 1 and bought the Nano 2, and the Nano 2 is a 98 watt-hour battery, and it powered my A7 IV for 8 hours of 4K 24 frames per second video, and I still had 25% battery left at the end of the shoot. Powering the Ninja and the camera will affect the battery life down to 5 hours in my testing, which is still plenty enough for me to run off of one V-mount battery. The battery is pretty expensive though. It costs $299, but it is a unique thing because most V-mount batteries do not have this strong USB-C power delivery port. The Powerextra 95 watt-hour battery is similar if you're using a D-tap battery. It's great if you want to save some money and don't mind using dummy batteries. This was $105 and it did come with a D-tap charger. I also have the 190 watt Powerextra battery that I use for my lights when I'm out, or if I have a full day filming and I'm using a dummy battery, I'll put this on the camera and just leave it run with my monitor and audio recorder all day, and I've never run out of battery with this thing. So this is nice if I just want to forget about battery life all day, or if I want to power a V-mount battery light. This is a great value, coming in at $145, and it's all the power you would need for a day's worth of shooting with your camera, monitor, audio recorder, or, like I said, with that light. So which of these batteries do you guys use? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see me rig up a V-mount battery on my Sony camera, check out this video, or check out this video about the 50mm 1.2 Sony G Master. It's my favorite lens. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.